Guys, I want for you to listen to this housing authority meeting and tell me what you think. They're trying to propose a lot of units or apartments now are no smoking allowed. You're not allowed to smoke in your units. Also, some places have noise ordinance where if it's a certain time of the day or night, you're making noise, you're violating your lease. When people move into these units, they are aware of the rules because they reviewed their lease, hopefully, and they know that there's no smoking inside their apartments and stuff. Well, the housing authority is looking for ways to weed out smokers inside their own units. They're setting up something that's similar to a smoke detector. It looks like a I don't know if it looks like a smoke detector, but it's similar to a smoke detector, but it detects cigarette smoke, marijuana, vapes, and their reasoning is that once we find out that these people are violating their lease by smoking, it damages the property up to $14,000 per unit to clean out. If the smoke is in the walls and in the floors, the baseboards and all of that, they have to go through lengthy, cleaning up to get rid of that smoke damage from cigarettes. I know cigarettes definitely can leave a lot of damage. Smoking in cars and stuff like that is so disgusting. Also, there's an app that they want people to either self-monitor themselves with their noise. Noise can be a problem. Yes, I agree. For people to self-monitor their own noise, I don't think that's going to work. But they also have a device that will monitor the noise that's coming out of someone's apartment. I think that is just too invasive. What do you guys think? I think this is just a little bit too much. You know what I mean? I guess it prevents conflict between neighbors, especially when it comes to noise, especially with the noise thing. That can be a tricky situation. You have somebody above you, they got children, they like loud music, whatever, and you confront them, or the police just get tired of showing up. What do? You have to be at work early in the morning, and some idiot above you, below you, or to the side of you is keeping you up at night. So to have a device to monitor that, and then it will notify the landlord. They will send them a text message letting them know that a certain decimal of noise is coming out of a person's unit. And it gives them leverage actually to evict that person. It gives them leverage to evict. They said that they hadn't had to challenge anything in court with these devices, because usually when a person finds out that they were in fact breaking the law or breaking the rules of their housing, they usually drop the case, but I blocked these people. I didn't want for you to see their faces, or I didn't want for their faces to be to be on my video. But listen to this.
feel about moving forward with that. And then how would you rate the technology itself of the Century? Oh, unbelievable. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. I mean, when I think Simon was here in our building, I'm not sure if it was him or one of your other colleagues, but they actually showed me, they vaped in my office. They, asked permission. I said, yes, I want to vape. And so right away, it detected the vaping, which I think is really cool. But really, vaping isn't our issue as much as smoking. And what's really nice is even if it's the weekend, I just get a text notification, and I can wait till Monday morning and go see, when I did have those violators, it was nice. I was able to just, the technology is so amazing. Even like my example with the woman who was trying to tamper with it, and you guys assured me that if you tamper, you're going to get notified that you're tampering, and I have had, we have some units that turn over, so we actually unscrew the device to paint. And I know when the painters are in there because I'll get a notification that the device is being tampered with. So the technology is spectacular. Thank you for that. What would you say to a company considering Century for their multifamily property? I would say if you have smokers and you have non-smokers complaining about doing no regrets. No regrets. It's definitely do it. Because it really does make the non-smokers, everybody's happy about it. Because the majority.
What do you guys think? Do you think this is a bit too much? Do you feel that this is an invasion of privacy to live where there's a device inside your unit monitoring the noise level coming out of your unit, and also smoking? It notifies the landlord that you are smoking. I'm anti-smoking myself. Okay, I don't smoke. If my neighbor wants to smoke, well, I live in an RV, so my situation is a little different. But the smell of marijuana makes me sick. The smell of cigarettes makes me sick. But I feel like, hey, that's on them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm lucky to have a single dwelling RV. But that's a tough thing. It's a tough thing. Now, most places, most housings, or public housing is smoke-free. It's smoke-free. Or they designate an area where they want their smokers to smoke. So they may have like a little park area or a little patio or something like that where they want the smokers to leave their unit and smoke. But it's pretty harsh, right? Like, to use that as a leverage to evict somebody, to kick them out. It's a tough thing. It's very tough. Noise, some people just don't get it. And I guess this device, once you show them, once they see it for themselves, that this is the level of noise that's coming out of their unit, and that it violates not only, their housing, but also it could violate the city, right? So some cities have laws and rules where after a certain hour, they don't want people making a lot of noise. That's the time, nighttime is a time for rest and recovery and relaxation and studying and sleeping. There's even rules and laws about dogs barking. Your neighbor has every right to report you to the authorities if you have a barkity dog, even if the dog is inside. If the dog is inside your own house and he's just a barkity dog, or let's just say, for example, you're away at work and the dog is just consistently barking for hours at a time, they can call the police on you. You know, so I just wanted to make this video and let you know what's going on out here. This is public housing, guys. This is the housing authority. They're thinking about doing this. I mean, they kind of already have enough power as it is, right? But to give them even more power like this, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Some scary things that's happening out there, you know, and I'm just letting you know what's going on, okay? Just letting you know. Well, you guys take care. You have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.